Last time, I helped write a program that allows you to count the number of words, lines, and total characters in a paper. The function works perfectly fine, and we're able to come in here and run this program and see that the test.txt contains 22 words, 4 lines, and 80 characters, and that works properly. However, if we wanted to read another file that's not test.txt, we would have to change this line, save the file, and then rerun it. Well, let's add another level of functionality to where we can specify which file we'd like to read from. So to do that, I'm going to create a new method, and it's going to have to be public static. It's going to be a string because we need to return the string name of the file, and this is going to be a file path. Get file name. And we're going to be taking in scanner CS. And it's going to ask the user for the file path to the document they want read. Okay. So all this is going to do is it's going to be a prompt that asks the user what the file they want is. They're going to type in something, and if it is not valid, they are going to ask them to keep typing until we get a valid one. So we don't have to worry about having this messed up a little bit or something like that. It's just going to be automatically what we're requesting by the time it gets to this line here. So to do this, we are going to need a scanner called SC. And once we have that, we're going to establish a Boolean valid file. And we're going to initialize this to false. We're going to say while not valid file, we're going to do that try catch loop. So we're just going to take this here, and I'm going to commit the cardinal sin of copy and paste. And we're going to put this try catch loop in here, and we're going to make it a little bit different. We're going to say, we're going to put in system.out.println. Give me the file path to the document you would like me to read. Period. Oh, and a space. And then we're going to have our scanner. Let's go back over this way. Let me just back out a little bit. Hopefully you can still see this. Okay, so now we're going to take the scanner, and we're going to say, well, scanner dot next line, and then it's going to be receiving the line from the user, and then we should have that stored in a string. So we're going to say string file name is equal to the scanner dot next line. And then we're going to say, well, once we've done this, we're going to say, well, scanner file is equal to new scanner. And instead of having new file and having this, we're going to just put in file name. So now, instead of looking for the path inside of this line here, we are going to be just passing it in as a string from the user input. We're just going to still need this file not found exception. One thing that we're going to add in here is we're going to have in println please try again. So that way they know that, oh, it's going to prompt me again. And then they'll go back through this while loop and then keep trying. And we also want to update. So if we do find it, valid file is equal to true. And if we don't, valid file is equal to false. Just to make it very clear what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to say that if the file is valid and we found a file and we've had no hiccups going through the try catch, then it's a valid file, it's true, and we want to exit this while loop because we have the name of the file we want. Otherwise, we're going to need to keep going through this until we do find a valid one. And also, we want to be able to return this file name. So let's go ahead and declare the string file name is equal to null out here. And then here, we just remove the declaration. So that should give that the functionality that we're looking for. And yeah, so we get out of the while loop. We must have a valid name. So now we're just going to return file name. And that will now allow us to be able to give the file name manually. However, we need to be able to call it, and then whenever we call it, we need to properly get it. So we're going to say scanner my file is equal to new scanner system .in, and this is just allowing you to take input from the user. So whenever you run the program, what's going to happen is it will prompt them with some kind of text like this system println statement here. And after it's prompted them, they'll be able to type and hit return. And upon hitting return, that string will be stored inside of the scanner. And then we're going to go ahead and say, well, string file name is equal to get file name. We'll go ahead and go a little bit bigger. Get file name, and we're going to pass in my file. And that's just passing in our scanner that we want to receive the input. Okay, so that should store the path to the file, so we can erase most of this. And we can just say, okay, now we're going to say my file is equal to new scanner. And in here, we're going to say new file and then file name. And I believe the rest should do its, oh, what's wrong? And we're just going to add this little statement up here and just say throws file not found exception. It doesn't really, because if we're getting the file name from the get file name function, that means it already has to exist in order for us to get outside of this while loop. So when we're here, we know that this is going to be valid. We know this is valid thanks to get file name. So because we have this function get file name, we know it's going to be valid. So it's not an issue to say we throw a file not found exception, because there's the risk anytime we're declaring a new file that we could get a file not found exception, but it should already be caught at this point. So from there, everything else works the same. And if we want to try running this, we should be able to press play. It says, give me the file path, the document you'd like me to read. Okay. Well, it's source dash test.txt. And there you go. We get the same information. 22 words, 4 lines, and 80 characters. So that's just a nice little extra functionality added on to that program that we wrote last time. Also, if you want to go ahead and print out the document prior to printing out this information here, we could go ahead and add that in very, very easily by saying, whenever we're in this while loop where we're checking if it has next line, whenever we get next line, we can just print those out. So we can just say, okay, well, down here, we're going to say system.out.println. What did it call it? Current line. So cur line. And now, no, did I declare it? Oh, sorry. Move that up one. That should work now. And now this should be able to print out the lines that we're reading in while counting up everything else. So let's try this. Source/test.txt. And there we go. So now we ask the user for a file. We read in the file. It says, and then it is printing out what the file says. It says, here is my test file. I wanted to have a total of 4 lines, 22 words, and a lot of charts. And then it prints out at the very end all of the information, and everything looks right. Now, just to show that if we do put in an invalid file name, like that, your file does not exist. Please try again, and then it'll ask for a file name, and we can just go ahead and put some gibberish in however many times you'd like. I'm just going to keep saying that it doesn't exist until we put in something valid. There we go. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you with some personal projects or anything that you needed to learn if you're just trying to learn Java coding on your own. If you have any requests, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and see you next time.